Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Haikyu, the Dumpster Battle. That's its American name. Haikyu, the Dumpster Battle. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. So, this thing, Haiku, which apparently I just found out, it's taken from like the kanji, which is from volleyball, and like this whole thing is about volleyball. It started as like a manga series. It's about this dude, Shoyo. I'm so bad at these names. I'm gonna be butchering all these names. Hinta, and like apparently like his goal is to be like the best volleyball player, despite him being like apparently he has a small stature, but that's not gonna deter him. That's not gonna stop him. So yeah, it started as a manga, then became an anime later on, and now it has like a feature film that is being released now. Apparently the manga is pretty popular. It has over 160 million copies in circulation. It's the one of the best-selling manga series of all time, so that has to count for something. And apparently the anime has a pretty good reputation too. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna label that as a pro, even though I've never heard of this ever. Like when it comes to most anime, I am out of the loop entirely. Like I know like the main ones, say your Dragon Balls, your Naruto's, your My Hero Academia's, your One Pieces, your Death Note, like stuff like that. Like I know that, but this, no, not a clue. I'm so yeah, but I guess brand name recognition. I guess I'm gonna label that as a pro. See what other pros. I guess anime movies. We've had quite a few of them the last few years, and for the most part, they do all right. I mean, they don't. I mean, for what they are, they do pretty good. I mean, starting from I would say Dragon Ball Super Brawly from 2019. That's when like anime movies started becoming, I guess, more like mini events in a way. Because Dragon Ball Super Brawly made like quite a nice bit of cash considering it came out in the middle of January. Then after that, 2 years later, you had like Demon Slayer, the Demon Slayer movie, which did incredible considering this was the time where nobody was going to the movie theater because of, COVID and shutdown, just lack of product. The market was just even worse than it is right now. The market was basically at rock bottom at that point. So the fact that it opened with like over 20 million, that was seen as like a miracle. And then we had some other success stories like Jujutsu Kaisen Zero making open with 18 million, Dragon Ball Superhero 21 million, and then the Demon Slayer movies, two of them that were basically they weren't even movies; they were just like stitched together like episodes, kind of like what like Disney did with some of their direct to DVD sequels, where they were literally just like a TV pilot, with just like several episodes, and they just crushed them all together and were like, "Yep, that's it, boom, movie, throw it out there." That's literally what they did, and for what they are, they did all right. They'll both open with like double digits. And then I guess The Boy and the Heron. That's not really. That's more of an original flick. While these other ones I mentioned are all like established anime. Well, Boy and the Heron when that came out like late last year, that opened at number one. Like it's rare for again like a Japanese animation movie. It's rare for a foreign movie to open at number one. So the fact that The Boy and the Heron was able to do that is very, very, very impressive. So yeah. So I'd say anime in America, obviously it's big. Big over here in the States. And these anime movies, for the most part, they do quite all right. So I'm gonna label that as a pro. I guess another pro is Thursday previews. I mean, I guess for what this is, I mean, 800,000 isn't a lot, but I guess here it's fine. I mean, this was never going to be that big, ever. Never stood a chance. So I guess these preview numbers are okay for what this is. So I'm going to label that as a pro. And I guess I can mention its reviews is 75%. Granted, there's like 12 reviews that can't really go off that too much. But its audience score is 99%. So, yeah, that's obviously good. So, gonna label that as a pro. Word of mouth being overall very, very good. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, okay, at least for that. Cons. Okay, anime movies. They can do well, but they do not last long in theaters. They come out and then they die very fast. There are way too many examples of this. Boy and Heron is not one of those examples. I guess the Demon Slayer movie that came out like a couple months ago, a few months ago. It's a good example. Almost 11 million, right? Next weekend dropped 82%. 82%. Yeah, so that's one example. Spy Cross Family Code White. This came out literally like last month. Well, I guess technically 2 months ago as I'm recording this, but whatever. 4 million. Next weekend, 77% dip. I mean, I can just keep on going. It's not going to get any better. Is it actually showing this? Okay, it doesn't show the whole numbers, with the whole like declines in everything. One Piece Film Red. This opened with 9 million, dropped 84%. Dragon Ball Superhero. 21 million, dropped 78%. And Jujutsu Kaisen Zero opened with 18 million, dropped 75%. Do you see a pattern? See a pattern? Yeah, it opens and then has a very high drop off the next weekend because obviously the people who are going to be watching these movies like day one are the fans. It's very much like fan driven to an extreme where only fans and fans alone watch it. And then once the fans are done with it, then no one else watches it and it evaporates. And I feel like the same is definitely going to happen with this. So, yeah, anime movies and their reputation for burning out very fast. I'll label that as a con. Uh, I guess another con is in I know this has fans, but in the grand scheme of anime, this is nowhere near like the top of the list in terms of like well-known anime. So most people or just aren't really gonna care about it that much. I mean, I guess one could argue it's kind of hard to care about like an anime that's about volleyball. It's not exactly the most exciting premise in the world, so that could also be a con in a way. But I guess the biggest con easily is that this weekend is just a waste of time. There's nothing big coming out, nothing important coming out. And the fact that the market is just so dead and depressed. Memorial Day sucked. Furiosa flopped hard. The Garfield movie did okay, but not great. If is just there, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is done okay, but not great. So yeah, things are bad in the market, and that's gonna have a negative effect on everything. So yeah, just bad market and just a bad weekend. I'll label that as a con. Another con. Are there any other cons? I don't think so. I think I got them all. Yeah, yeah. So opening weekend, the numbers I've seen, I think it's like 4 million. That's what I've seen from like its early numbers. I'm about to check right now. Yeah, about 4 million. So yeah, so 4 million opening weekend. That's total less than 8, less than 7 Honestly, I see this dying a quick death like all the other ones. But really, its domestic total doesn't matter because I know it says here only like 3 million, but in reality, it's like 75 million. It already made 75 million in Japan, like Japan, Vietnam, South Korea, and Hong Kong. So really, U.S. money, it doesn't matter. It's just gravy. So yeah, at least it has that going for it. And yeah, so that's it with that. We got two more movies to discuss in a violent nature and summer camp, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more cancel episodes like this? Not cancel episodes. Predict box office predictions. You want to watch any of the ones I've done this year or the past few years? You can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about Haikyuu ever. So yeah, at least I don't I seriously doubt I have. I didn't even know this was like a thing until like a while ago. Even then, I haven't really looked at it until like very, very, very recently. Yeah, I never talked about it. So yeah, never talked about it. I made 247 episodes of canceled. I have three more to go until I am done with the series. So stay tuned for that whenever that happens. But if you want to watch any of the past cancel episodes, you want to binge them all from beginning to now, I highly encourage you to do that. So go do it. There's also uh shoot box office recaps where I go over the box office results for a particular month. May, that will come out in about a week and a half. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be very negative, but that's just how it is. Believe me, I don't want it to be negative, but that's literally how May ended up. Just a very negative month. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos of me on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.